In today's video, I'll be vlogging exactly what it's like to be working part-time and skiing part-time. I'm running a bit late for breakfast, so I'm gonna quickly grab a croissant and some cereal, and then I'll get back up here to start some work. Okay, so back from breakfast and a bit of background. I'm currently a Part 1 architect for Ryder Stelland Architects, and I joined the practice straight after I graduated. In the interview for this job, I mentioned the fact that I really wanted to do a ski season. Didn't quite know how it's going to be possible, but they hired me with that in mind, so woo! I think what's also important to note here is at the time I was holding 3 job offers, and each of the 3 offers that I was holding, I'd also let them know at interview that I wanted to do a ski season, and all 3 of the sort of architect firms hired or gave me a job offer knowing that that was possibly going to happen. So I also thought I'd show you my setup whilst I'm here. So I'm in a hotel, has a lovely balcony. Look at all that fresh snow overnight. Like, oh, dreamy to be working here. Picked a hotel in a resort which is connected to Geneva Airport via train, which just made the transfer a little bit cheaper and more sustainable, so good things all around. It's called Arc 1600 if you're interested. So here's the desk that was provided with the room, and I just grabbed a chair from outside on the balcony. Bring a couple of adapter plugs, and if you have an extension lead, I think that's also a good thing to be bringing with you. Headphones are important, so that you can do Zoom calls, etc. in case you're in a noisy background. Got some good lighting setups. That's mainly because I'm filming today, but normally that suffices. And then work laptop, notepad. I just bought a small one, but you know, enough to write some notes in. And then a couple of pens and a highlighter. And of course, the mouse. So I think that's my pared back sort of desk. I'm working the hours of 8 till 12 in French time. That means then after lunchtime I can go straight out and head for the slopes. The first thing I always do for the day is to check my email. Then I also love to listen to podcast in the morning, so listening to newscast on BBC Sounds gives you like a roundup of the news of the previous day in 30 minutes, so I think that's always a great way to start the day. And then Notion, absolutely love Notion. So this is just my template for the video for today, but now we're done with that, so I'll go into my sort of normal hub, refill in my to-do list for the day, and here I've got all the projects that I've got live at the moment, and this is the main one that I'm working on this week, so it's called Hill Court. And for work I'm doing basically getting it ready for planning permissions. So one of my tasks for this morning is to draw on the rear elevations where the drainage pipes go, or the rainwater pipes. So I've been looking at photos of the house, and then I've just done a really quick sketch in my notepad. It's not beautiful, but it's enough for me to then translate where the pipes are and draw those on CAD. Here we are. As I say, not a pretty drawing, but a functional drawing. So now I've got this, here are the photos that I was looking through in order to work it out. And here's the elevation, so I'll just add those on now. I've just finished a meeting with director Alex. I'd written down a list of questions before the meeting so that I knew how to make the most of the time with him. I want to show you my notebook because this might be of interest. During the Zoom meetings, normally everything's like really fast when you're talking about things, so I like to jot down notes really quickly in my book and then draw on CAD like any changes that need to be made, or like quickly write them down on whatever file I'm working on, and I do them in a really bright colour. But then I like to spend just an extra 5 minutes post-meeting to write up the notes nice and clearly whilst everything's fresh in my brain. Here are those notes a bit more clearly. Got about 10 minutes left of work, and I'll do an extra 10 minutes just so it makes up for any vlogging time. Send an email off to the client to ask for some clarification and some photos, and then it's time to ski. And the work day is complete. Because I'm skiing on my own, which I've never done before, but because I'm skiing on my own, I've actually got my AirPods with me because I found as nice as the scenery is to look at, sometimes it can be a bit quiet. So yeah, I just put one in at a time so that I always can hear other people around me and behind me, but it made me feel much more confident. We're on the chairlift. Looks like it's going to be a fantastic afternoon. We've got only 3 more days, including today, of skiing left. And then I think that's it for my mini season. It's gone by so quickly, so quickly. The sun has started to come out, and because it's the afternoon and because it's not peak season, the slopes are actually so empty. Look at this red that I've just done, it's just totally empty. No lift queues. Beautiful. I really want to remember this. It's okay. I don't know what's up. I don't know if it's because of my period, if it's because I'm a bit cold and a bit ill, because I'm a bit alone. I don't know what it is, but I think I wanted this experience of solo travel to see what it's like, and it's good, but I think it's had its dips. I think that's because, in part, because of the way that I'm doing it. If I was on a proper ski season, I'd be probably in a hotel or with other staff. We'd all be in the same experience together, whereas this one's quite daunting, especially I guess coming from a whole month of every single moment being with other people. I also love work because I get to talk to people, and I think they're really busy at work at the moment, and the time difference means although the work that I'm doing is good, I'm like not able to interact as much with them. So it's nice to have a Zoom with Alex today, but I know that this will pass, and it's already good talking just to, you know, have spoken for a bit for the day. It's been helpful making the vlog today, and I have generally had a really good time. I think this is probably just a feeling of settling into it. I'm not sure this will go into the vlog, but we'll see. I started the vlog because I wanted to be honest with people, and well, this is my story. So I want to do a little update. Don't worry, we're on a rise. Things are going a bit better. I went down to dinner, and there were 3 tables when I went in, but by the time I was on my main course, it was just me in the restaurant. So there's one lovely English speaking waitress, and she came over and sat with me for a bit, and we chatted. And then, this was lovely. Then there were 2 Belgian girls who came over and sat on the table next to me, and then it turns out they speak literally like perfect English. So thank you so much to them for coming and talking to me. It was so nice. Talked about our travels and our university experiences and what we want to do with life. So yeah, I mean, thank you. The kindness of people means so much. Okay, so I am now back home. I'm in London. It's been a hot minute, you know? It's probably been about a month since I filmed this day in the life video, and I've really ummed and ahed as to whether or not to put this online, because it's definitely the most vulnerable, I guess, I've ever been on camera. And I want to make sure to end this vlog by saying, I did have an amazing time skiing. I am so fortunate, and so thank you for that opportunity. The mini ski season or whatever was great, and the days following that vlog that I filmed, I met up with a friend from high school. I also found some friends in the resort that I was staying in, and they're English, and we skied together as well. So Honestly, the last few days on my own were fantastic and I loved it, and I wish I could have spent more time on my own skiing. But I did have that one dip day, and it's the only day that I had as a dip, and it just so happened to be the one that I filmed. I didn't mention it in the vlog at the time, but 2 days prior or a day prior, I can't quite remember, I had my Cambridge interview, and that was a hard moment for me because I'd previously applied to Cambridge at undergrad and then not been accepted, and that really hit me hard back in A-levels. That was going through my brain, and I think, yeah, being ill, periods, and being alone, all of those things were going on. But I guess you can see in the card in the background, good news is that I was very fortunately accepted into Cambridge. So I think, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say here is I want to give you the honest background of what it's like to be a part one and the ups and the downs that you have in everyday life. I think I'm currently in another bit of a down with work at the moment. I love it to pieces and I feel so fortunate, and so I really want to do well for the company. But last week and this week, it seems silly, but I made a spelling mistake on one of the public posts that we put on Instagram, and I've been struggling with it quite a lot actually the last week. As to, I mean, it was multiple things. There's a spelling mistake, and then I was a little bit behind on one of my deadlines for internal deadlines. It won't have affected the client, but just, you know, I thought I could finish it in less time than I actually finished it in. It's been really hard for me this week, and I've spoke a lot to my friends and to my boyfriend about it and had many a chat. And I think what was a really good analogy is one of my housemates, Peter. He spoke about it almost like a football match. You know, everybody's human and everybody makes a mistake. And right now, I'm the person who's in the penalty shootout. You know, I've kicked the ball into the back of the net 100 times perfectly in training. But it's match day and I've missed the goal. And that sucks. And then the next week, human error happens again. I'm not a robot, and poof, the goalkeeper has caught it. And again, I feel really, really awful, because it feels like something that I shouldn't have done. Feels like I, you know, should be able to catch things like this. You know, it's such a small mistake, something like a spelling mistake or posting something early or missing my timings for, you know, underestimating the amount of time that it would take me to do something. They're not actually big mistakes, but in my head they are huge. And it's so huge because it feels like I've let the company down, and that's exactly what I don't want to do, in particular because they've been so nice to me in letting me do things like the ski season or in letting me do tutoring. And I know this is a really big vlog and I'm probably splurting out a million ideas at once here, so I don't know how I'm going to edit this down. But in short, I just want to show you the realities of being a part one and the highs, the joys, the freedom to travel and to experience life as a young graduate, but also the stresses that come with that. So yeah, anyway, I don't know how to wrap this up, but let's just wrap it up with thank you ever so much for watching. I look forward to sharing more with you as this crazy journey of graduate life continues. If you're in one of those dip moments, I'm sending you love, and I do understand what it's like to be there. I know lots of the time on camera I portray this very bubbly person, and even in real life I think this genuinely is me in real life too. So when people see me upset, it can be quite a jarring scenario, but I do have those moments, and I want to say, if that is you, you've got this. You know, these moments will pass, these feelings will pass. You will go back on a rise and feel like yourself again. Just keep on pushing through, keep on looking after yourself, give yourself time and be gentle to yourself. On that note, I shall leave you for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. Bye guys.